Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Report, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's take a look at some of the stocks on the move today here in Europe. I'm Caroline Hepker with Tom McKenzie, and we're joined by Bloomberg reporter Chloe Millay. Let's start with BP, which has agreed to divest its stake in US shale assets. How's the market responding to that in what is going to be a big week for earnings?
Yeah, absolutely. So it seems that the market is responding quite positively to that decision to divest stakes from BP. It's obviously part of this wider plan for the oil major to shore up its balance sheet and to win back some investor confidence after years and years of underperformance. This is also the underperformance that put it in the line of sight of the activist investor Elliott Investment Management, and that has pushed BP to kind of refocus on oil and gas and divest some of the other assets. The new chairman, Albert Manifold, said that the company has to act with urgency to cut costs, sell those assets and improve profitability. So it's pledged to divest $20 billion of assets by the end of 2027. So far, it's managed to strike a deal to sell its US onshore wind business, which means that it has now completely exited wind power generation. It's also agreed to offload its Dutch retail fuel sites and also electric vehicle charging hubs. So it is making that progress there. So we'll get more update on how it's kind of managing this turnaround at the third quarter results tomorrow, where we'll get probably an update on that strategy going forward.
Okay, and we're going to switch focus to Campari Group now, Chloe, which is dropping following an Italian tax fraud probe. How potentially damaging is this? What are the details?
Yeah, well, Italian prosecutors ordered the seizure of around 1.3 billion euros in shares from the holding company that controls Campari. So it's not directly affected, but it is part of this tax fraud probe. So it relates to alleged unpaid taxes on assets moved abroad, and it is related to the Luxembourg-based holding company Lacfin, and this is related to the alleged failure to pay exit tax on about 5.3 billion euros of capital gains generated when it absorbed an Italian subsidiary. So Campari itself is not under investigation, and it's said that it does not expect the litigation to impact it or any of its subsidiaries, but analysts are saying that the news is likely to put that pressure on the shares regardless of that direct impact, with an overhang on the shares until that tax dispute is clarified. Analysts have said that the shares seized amount to about 16% of the Campari market capitalization, which could be material if the Italian authorities were going to monetize that to settle that tax.
So that on Campari Group. We've also been looking at Ryanair today. The airline expects to exceed passenger growth targets, but the CEO also issued quite a forthright, I guess it was a threat or the threat of a consequence for the government here too.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's quite a lot of news actually coming out of Ryanair this morning. So profit came in ahead of expectations, as you said, raised the target for passenger growth this year thanks to really strong travel demand and also improving Boeing deliveries. But then we also have this the CEO striking quite a cautious tone and saying that any taxes would lead to a refocus on production for Ryanair. It said that he said also it was too early to provide a meaningful profit guidance for the full year. So that was also quite that cautious tone that I mentioned. And some analysts have noted that there was a lack of guidance upgrade on profit after tax. And so all of that has led to a bit of weakness in the shares, despite those Boeing deliveries improving, despite the profit coming in ahead of expectations. And some of it might also have had to do with a really strong share price performance recently. It's a company that's been really outperforming Wizz Air and EasyJet, which are those closest budget airline rivals, and so it has been pairing maybe some of those gains after a really strong share price performance.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.